Well, it's the day you've all been waiting for. Folks, it is time to go Bill Clinton mode, and not in the weird way. Luckily, the saxophone is pretty easy to put together. First thing you want to do, make sure that those latches are facing the floor so the whole thing doesn't tumble out. On these Yamaha cases, the little divots go inward so that you know this is the top. Then we're going to unlatch the case, and there are three main parts of the saxophone. You've got the body itself of the saxophone, the neck, and then the ligature, and the mouthpiece. And then you've also got the neck strap over here to help support the instrument, and there's a reed over here. That wasn't three. The first thing that I like to do is put the reed in my mouth. So I'll slip it out of the case, and then I'll just pop it in. I'm not going to keep it in here because you can't hear what I'm saying, but imagine that's soaking in my mouth the whole time. Next thing I'll do is I'll slip on the neck strap just to prepare for when the body goes on, because what am I doing next? I'm picking up the body. Just like on the flute, if you watched my last video, if you're an avid fan and viewer, try not to click down any keys on the saxophone. It's a lot easier than the flute because there's a lot less spaces with keys on them. I'm going to pop out this black thing at the top, put it in there. Then we're going to hook the neck strap onto the little loopy guy. Perfect. Now we are 29% of the way there. Next, I'm going to pick up the neck of the instrument, and there's a little twisty doodad right here. You might want to loosen it just a little bit before you put the neck in, if it's not going in. Then twist them into place. You're going to want to line up the hole here with this little pad here. It's not a pad, it's just like a plastic ridge. Then I'm going to twist this to tighten it. Yeah. We've got our neck assembled. After we assemble the neck, this is when I like to put the mouthpiece onto the instrument. Just by itself, no fancy ligature or reed on it, because now that there's nothing on it, you can manhandle and jam it into place. Well, maybe manhandle's not the right word, but you can twist it as much as you'd like without worrying about injuring the reed. And the mouthpiece should be in line with the rest of the instrument. Just make it so that, like, the whole part, like the literal whole part, there's a hole there, is lined up with everything else in the back. Now that my reed has been thoroughly soaked in my mouth, this is when I usually put it on the instrument. So I'll place the reed here, flat side, onto the mouthpiece. You can see there's a curved side and a flat side. Then I put it on to the mouthpiece. I make it so that just like a little thumbnail, like that, is on there of the black. Yeah, let me get a hello, like this. You see that? Oh, yeah, you got it. Once that little piece is visible at the top, then I put on the ligature. The screw sides are going to be on the right side of the reed / mouthpiece when it's facing you. Then I like to pop this down until the logo is in the middle. Oh, would you look at that, it already is. Then I start twisting the screws, and then I stop once there's like any amount of tension. There we go. And now the instrument is ready to play. Me when I lie. The last thing that you'll want to do before you play your saxophone is to adjust the neck strap. Personally, mine has been adjusted already, but yours is probably going to come pretty tightened or pretty loosened. What you want out of a neck strap is to pull up the saxophone to the point where the mouthpiece is pushing up against your top teeth, not just that you can reach it. It should literally be putting pressure on your top teeth. Not a lot, you don't want to move your teeth around, but a little bit. And that is going to encourage the best sound possible. Now that we've got the saxophone all set up, let's go over the proper posture for playing on it. First, you'll want your feeties flat on the floor, and you want them about shoulder width apart. Next, you'll want to be sitting about on the edge of your seat. Wait, check it. Me when I lie! You want to be sitting on the edge of your seat because you're so excited to play saxophone. Then you want to make sure, oh, not the sweat stain. Then you want to make sure that your back is very straight. So let me You want to make sure that your back is straight, and that's going to encourage the best airflow for this instrument. Then our head is going to be facing straight forward. We ring the saxophone up, and now it's in playing position. But where do you put your fingers? I'm glad you asked. For your left hand, the one that makes an L when you make an L, your thumb is going to go on this black thing here. Then your fingers, despite how many clickable looking buttons there are, your fingers are going to go 1, 2, 3, float. Then for your right hand, they'll go, this one's a lot easier, 1, 2, 3, then float. And that is where all your fingers will go for the saxophone. For the embouchure of a saxophone, it's really close to that of a clarinet, if not pretty much exactly. For your top lip, no, top part of your face, you're going to want to bite down on your mouthpiece, like that. Hi you, hey! And notice that your teeth are directly on top of the mouthpiece. That is normal. It might not feel great because you've got all the vibrations going through the mouthpiece, but it do be like that. You can get little covers for the mouthpiece if you don't like that feeling, but make sure that your teeth are making contact with this guy right here, literally going Then for your bottom teeth, they're going to be putting a little bit of pressure on the bottom part of the reed, but they're going to be covered up by the red of your lip, looking something like this. Now together, and now we're going to seal it with all of the remaining lip that we have. So, that should be able to get a pretty good sound on the saxophone. Speaking of which, you might be wondering what I just played. I played an A on the saxophone, which is 1, 2, nothing else. And that's going to sound like a concert C. If you're having a really, really strong attack, try having a little more control over how much air is coming out of your body. So really focus on tensing up your diaphragm and controlling how much air is coming out. If not a lot of sound is coming out, or it's coming out flat, you might want to you might want to pull up your bottom lip a little bit more. Like this. You can see that a little bit. Something that's important to make sound on the saxophone is that you always want to start every sound with your tongue. Never. Do you hear how that's aspirated? It's like right before the note comes out. That's what it sounds like without my tongue being right here before I start the note. Here's what it sounds like with it. A much cleaner start, and that's what we're aiming for. Now, when I say tonguing on the reed, I mean literally your tongue is hitting the reed. It's not hitting right here, no matter how much it looks like you should hit right here. If you do that, your tongue is going to hurt so bad. You are going to want to hit your tongue about right here-ish on the reed, just where it naturally sits in your mouth. Yeah, about like right here on the reed. Before we learn how to disassemble and clean the saxophone, I'm going to play a little ditty for you on it to show you what you might be able to sound like after a few lessons on it. I've never heard that song before? I hope not. Now that we've jammed out for a little bit, it's time to put away our saxophone. Hopefully your practice sessions are a little longer than that. The first thing that I like to do is I will untighten the ligature, so twist the screws the opposite way of what you did at first. Take it off, and then deconstruct the mouthpiece. You'll want to wipe off your reed on your pants. Here, this is what I'm doing. Just to get a little extra spit off, and then we are going to just let it sit on a stand to dry out a bit. Then I'm going to take off my mouthpiece. Oh, I hope you saw all that spit because that is essential for this next thing I'm going to tell you. You're going to need a swab to clean this out. There it goes. It's so big! What I like to do is I'll drop the little ball guy, like Fall Guys. I drop it into the top part of the mouthpiece, and then I will do this gently as to not chip the mouthpiece. Just drag it through, and then once there's any piece of resistance, I will stop. And just kind of go back and forth until it feels like, yeah, there's probably not a lot of spit in here. Now I can put the ligature back on the mouthpiece like how we found it. Bink! Then I'm going to put the mouthpiece cover back on, and I'm going to slip it in where I found it in the case. Then I'm going to take off the neck. You might have to unscrew the little screw guy here, and then pop it off. Pop off. Then I'll do the same thing that I did with the mouthpiece. I'll drop the heavy part through till it comes out the other side, and then I will start swabbing. Once again, any resistance, stop, and then just go back and forth. Pull it out the way that it went in. Blink! Then I'll put it back where I found it. Finally, I am going to put this through the saxophone. I'll go in at the top, and then I just keep putting it in there until, whoop. Now you gotta like jiggle it a little bit. Then, oh, I see it. Hang on. Well, there's a more graceful way to do that, but I don't know what it is. And now this one, you should be able to pull it just all the way through your instrument. And now your saxophone is, oh, it's so wet. Now it's all swabbed out. I'm gonna pop off the neck strap. Pop off. Then I'm going to put the black, like, little cover guide there. Then I'm going to pop it back into the case where I found it. Then I'm taking off the neck strap, just gonna fold it away and put it into the side pocket of the case. Then I'm going to put the reed back into the reed case. I know it seems scary that you have to slide it in like this, but I promise it's not going to like break the reed or anything. Boop. Oh, let me show you. So this is what our case looks like now. Swabs on the floor, don't care. I do care. I'm going to clean it up right after this. Now everything is back in its rightful place, and the swab, yeah, there she goes. Alright, and now she's all packed away. Anyway, thanks for watching my saxophone video, guys. Catch you in the next one.